Let's talk about something a little less controversial because we got a really exciting figure here. And I don't think anyone expected this to just drop out of nowhere like that, but we did. Sideshow did their first look unboxing for it. I know a lot of people are really excited about this. And I want to ask the question. This is such a we got a new member. Thank you so much, Bendu Windu. Thank you so much, kind sir, for being a member. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. So I want to ask the question, is this the type of figure you simply don't pass on? Because I think a lot of collectors are going to think about this. Well, I don't have the rest of the league. Like, do I really want to have Cyborg by himself? Do I want to go get the rest of the league? If I get Cyborg, do I feel like I need to complete the line, so to speak? Can I have Cyborg with my other DC characters without the rest of the league, and do something else with that? I'm asking the question, is Cyborg the type of figure that you simply don't pass on? Because this is absolutely the only Cyborg you're probably ever going to get. But like, I don't think they're ever going to. It took enough for them to make it in the first place. It took a lot of community outrage for them to make it, right? The figure came out great. The prototype head sculpt was beautiful. The finals head sculpt is beautiful. I love how this figure looks. It's so unique looking. It's so well engineered. This is a shelf stealer, a figure presence stealer. And I wanted to ask you, Kiko, is Cyborg the figure that collectors should just simply not pass on because he's so unique and so special? What do you think?
Do you like the Justice League?
I really liked the film. Yeah, I thought it was great.
Do you like the Justice League? Like
What
how
do you
many
mean?
Justice how many Justice how many Justice League figures do you have?
None.
Then you don't need this figure.
Okay. Okay.
That's what I'm getting at. Do you just buy things simply because this is the epitome of sculpting, engineering, and all that stuff? Is this even USB powered, by the way, or is it batteries?
I don't think so. I think it's battery. Yeah.
Damn, what a miss. But with that being said, I know that this was the final jewel that people were looking to complete their Justice League crown. And there are some people out there that are super pissed that I even like slandered, Zack Snyder's Justice League and all those things like that.
You slandered it?
No. The fact that I'm not sitting there like jerking it off.
Oh,
Like
okay.
saying, oh my God.
Okay.
Because the whole DC world is just so odd. I mean, we sit there and like circle jerk the Dark Knight to death, which I don't have a problem with, but we are so quick to just crap on everything else that's DC. I know I certainly am, because from Blue Beetle to Shazam to Justice League to whatever it is, there's something that you can complain about for sure. But this was the missing piece that some people wanted, because they were like, hey, I'm a DC honk, just like you're a Star Wars fiend and all that stuff. Kevin, don't you tell me that you're getting the Bad Batch when I can't have my, Justice League figures. Same point. Some people look at me and they're like, can't understand why you're getting all the Bad Batch figures. Well, I don't understand why you're getting all the Justice League figures then, because that's it for me. Because I think that it's a cool figure, but if you don't have any attachment to the Justice League or Zack Snyder's version or anything like that, there's no point to have it in your collection. Don't buy things because I'm going to buy 3 of these because you know what's going to happen. There's only going to make one of them, and I'm going to flip these later. You shouldn't in your collection, because I'm guilty of doing this myself, man. Because I've bought something because oh man, this is a figure I cannot miss, only to be like, why is this thing in my house? And you have to move it out. Most likely take a loss on it. Don't get something that you're not attached to. If Ray Fisher is super inspirational to you and you just love the portrayal of this figure, sure, go for it. If you have just been missing this piece forever to complete your Justice League, sure, go for it. If you're looking at it saying, wow, I've never seen a figure like that, pass. There's no reason for you to get that. And we got to stop jumping on to I can't miss this. This is my chance. Because if you're not a big Cyborg fan, there's no reason for you to have this, honestly.
Understandable. Marco, what do you think about this Cyborg? Is this a figure that collectors should pass or not on? What do you think?
No, I completely agree. I think this is going to be one that's for very few people, only because DC is in such a time of transition right now. You give it a few years when the entire universe is rebooted, and you went and got this figure and you didn't love the Snyderverse or this character, and you're going to look at it like, what was I really thinking? Like, this character means nothing to me. It looks pretty cool, but that's the only attachment I have to it. So unless you're just in the habit of collecting figures that look cool, I think this one is totally skippable. I'm kind of in that same scenario. I really well, I really enjoy Batman versus Superman. It's a very imperfect film, but I just love, just the atmosphere and the character design, and like a lot of the goofy aspects of it. Didn't necessarily love Justice League as much, and Cyborg was kind of a forgettable character, even in the Zack Snyder cut. I just don't really jive with Cyborg that much. I think his design is cool, but overall, like not one of my top tier characters. So I think it's a nice looking figure. I think this is a way to display. I think if I get it, and there's a very small percentage, I would need the version with the helmet, right? And so that's like the sideshow exclusive version, which makes it tougher because it limits my options in terms of getting discounts. So I think if I was ever to get it, this is a display option I'd want. But again, I keep coming back to in a few years, I'm going to look at it like this means nothing to me. It's just a guy, a cyborg guy, because I didn't necessarily love the character. So yeah, I think most folks can pass this. Don't let the FOMO get the best of you. You're going to be fine. There's going to be a lot more DC characters on the way. So just wait for other iterations of the characters you really love.
Yeah, and this is interesting, Marco, because one of the things that I do want to note here, when you have him not lit up, it's not as cool, right? I mean, I guess you could say that for any number of figures, but most of us are probably not going to have the figure lit up most of the time. Like Kiko was referencing, whether USB power or not, this is not USB power from what I'm aware. So those batteries are going to die super fast on you. So unless you're filming a collection tour, you have a special lady coming over and you want to show her Cyborg lit up that night, short of that, you're probably not going to keep the batteries in this figure. And if you do, they're not going to survive very long, right? So it's still, the figure looks phenomenal though. I got to say it's really, really good, but I am overall with you guys. I wanted to ask the question though, because I just feel like this is a unique figure and this is a figure that a lot of people said that they wanted. So I'm interested to see how many people will actually support it in the end. Will this become a bargain bin figure? Maybe they produce very few of them, because I know when this was announced, they said in Hong Kong, like nobody showed up for it. Like nobody lined up for Cyborg, basically. The line was very small. So it's interesting to hear that, maybe this is more so a US figure. Maybe us in the US market, we care more about this figure. And, the Snyder Cut stuff is kind of more in the rear view mirror. If this had come out around that time, I think this could have been very, very hot for people. But it feels like kind of in the rear view mirror for a lot of people, unless they make some sort of crazy announcement, which has been kind of rumored. I guess we'll see. But yeah, it's a really nice figure, not taking anything away from the figure. But to me, it just depends how much you love the Justice League. Like Kiko and Marco said, if you love the Justice League and you want to complete the line and you want to get the Cyborg, it's a great figure. It's a great option. But if you just don't, if you got other priorities as a collector, then this is probably not the one for you. That's what I would say. I'm with you guys. You guys are 100% right on that one. So
I love when we're all together.
Yeah, right. See, well, exactly.
We need a little bit more, a little more fight. On the next one, I'm just
gonna okay. Let me pick one that's a little bit more.
Pick one more controversial.
Let's pick a little controversial one then.
We're losing the clicks. We're losing the clicks.
Come on, get the clicks, guys. Come on now. Come on.